Welcome to another interview. I'm going to do the usual and allow my wonderful guest to introduce themselves. So, guest.
Where's the wonderful guest?
We're going to joke her in this one, folks. Right, wonderful guest, introduce yourselves. Let us know your name and where you're from.
Well, Maureen, I'm Ruth Franks and I'm from London.
Daughter of the one and only
Johnny Franks.
Johnny Franks. So look him up, guys. Look him up. Well, thank you so much for joining me here today. You are one of the tongue-tied contributors to the Letters in My Younger Soul book. Just going to start by asking you, how did you first find out about the project?
Basically through, I'd say, word of mouth, because as you know, we met on a course, and I just heard through the grapevine that you were producing this book, and that's how I heard, through the grapevine.
So heard of it through the grapevine. What because obviously it's called Letters to My Younger Soul, and it's asking women to kind of reflect on looking at a younger, so there was no stipulation whether it was 2 years old, 10 years old, or even 20, 30 years old. It depended how far women wanted to go back. But it was so understanding all of that. What is it about that journey, or taking that journey, that attracted you to or was it the journey itself that attracted you to actually stepping up and writing a letter?
Good question. So what was it? Well, I suppose it's about legacy as much as anything else. I think because I'm not young. I'm sort of through my life now. I'm
not quite over yet.
Well, I'm 61. Okay, so there's a huge secret just gone out there, but it's true. I'm 61. I don't have kids, but I teach. So I've had children all the way through teaching piano as a musician, being surrounded by kids all the time. And I hate injustice and seeing, I used to go to somebody's house who was a bit bullied by their older brother. And I remember thinking, oh God, I was bullied. And so there's always been something in me that actually wanted to help a younger sibling because of what I went through. At the same time, I wanted somebody to know. I wanted somebody to know that.
Yeah.
So I suppose it's a legacy kind of thing.
Brilliant. I love it. I love it. That's really good, actually, and really interesting, because I think for many of our writers, it's in reading their letters, you can see that it's much more of a cathartic experience for them. And obviously the idea that, if they can kind of heal themselves, maybe somebody else will get healing out of what they've written. But what you're saying gives a different spin that not even I had necessarily thought about in putting it together. And that is that element of legacy in saying, maybe I don't have children, or my children are grown, or it's just an opportunity to leave a bit more of my. Honestly, you really
a bit of yourself.
Bit more of yourself. Yeah, you've really you've really made me think, actually, in saying that. This is not an in-depth Oprah Winfrey interview. It is a very short one. So it's just about 4 questions, which I think I've asked 3 now. So just going to present the last question to you, and that is this. As I said, this is called Letters to My Younger Soul, and you have kindly contributed a letter. But now I'm asking you to give just 1 sentence of advice. So if you could give just in 1 sentence, what piece of advice would you give to your younger soul, or somebody else's younger soul, or just a younger soul?
Don't fret on everything that comes your way. I tell you, life is like the weather, in my opinion. Life is like the weather. We go through terrible storms. But we always come out the other side. No matter what's wrong, things just goes, and then it's another day, and you get on with it.
All the way from her luscious, secluded
Back home.
island next door to Necker, giving Necker a run for its money.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me on this interview. Thank you so much for being a contributor.
I've
Thank you
loved
for
it.
stepping up. Thank you for wanting to leave a legacy. I'm going to really play on that one. Leave a legacy.
In fact,
Thank
if I
you.
had a podcast, that would be it. That's what it would be called.
Wow.
Legacy.
Wow.
What am I leaving? Exactly.
Nice. Well, thank you so much once again for being a contributor, and thank you for agreeing to this interview. You've been
My
great.
pleasure. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Pleasure.
Thank you.
And now that I've done it, I wouldn't hesitate to do it again. So I mean, if you had,
yes, there may well be volume 2,
2, 3, 4, and 5, I honestly, I wouldn't hesitate.